worldwide connections, capital connections. Please welcome Karen Feld. And
Hi, Joan.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, let's get right to it, you and I. Hillary's hair.
Well, Hillary's hair,
Not looking that good.
Well, it's looking better, but for $17 instead of $200.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Sylvan, who is a Tunisian-born American, a Washington, D.C. hairdresser, is doing her hair now, which makes all the D.C. hairdressers really happy because she's been going to Christoph and Frederick Fry and all these $200 fancy New York and L.A. types. And Sylvan went with her on the trip to Japan this summer, and every time he combed her hair, it was $17, which is pretty cheap, even if it's a half a dozen times a day.
So, in other words, it's not $70 a cut, it's $70 a hair.
It's $17 for everything. He's got this chain of express places in Washington where you just kind of pop in and they do it, and that's it.
So $70 for anything.
Right, and in fact, there's this wonderful postcard out called Budget Cuts, and it shows Bill and Hillary with their $17 haircuts. It's right up there, and it's great. They sort of look like cone heads without the cones.
So he went with him to Tokyo, and every time he combed her hair, he charged $70?
$17. But she's looking better, so that's, you know, not too bad.
Okay.
And in fact, a lot of people think that Hillary knows best. And when Senator Kerry of Nebraska went jogging recently with the president, he wore a T-shirt that said, "Hillary knows best." So maybe, you know, he's trying to tell him something.
Right, right.
Then there's this other T-shirt that I brought you.
Oh, let me see.
Which is just wonderful. On the front here is Bill and Hillary.
Oh,
but
it's hilarious.
now, wait till you get to the back. Her arm is around him, and she's pushing all the right buttons. And it's got things like yes, no, waffle some more, nominate and withdraw,
tax, spend,
$200 outrageous price tag.
Oh, look what it says down
wonderful
here.
Things.
Other legs, walk.
It's all the buttons, social. Pulling all the strings. So this is terrific. You know, there are all these things that are really
Is that for
popular.
me?
That's for you.
Oh, I get such good gifts. Thank you
Isn't
very
that
much.
great?
What about little celery? Chelsea.
Isn't that terrible? I mean, Chelsea's going into the 9th grade in the fall, and she had a great summer. She got to spend some time with her dad in Hawaii playing on the beach while Hillary was working at healthcare meetings.
Right.
But the Secret Service is, they're very concerned, and Chelsea wants to live, or her parents wanted to live as normal a life as possible, but yet she has to have these guys behind her, you know, protecting her. And so they didn't want the Secret Service to sit in the back of the classrooms. So what they're doing at her private school, the Sidwell Friends, which is this Quaker, very upscale Quaker school in Washington, is they're building a special room for the Secret Service where they can kind of hang out and, you know, dish dirt, gossip, talk on the phone, drink coffee, and wait for Chelsea.
Right, which is much better. Can you imagine being in class?
Yeah, but we don't know what it's costing the taxpayers. That's the other thing.
Well, but maybe what they're saving on the $70 haircuts.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you know, they can play on.
What about the cat? Socks, right?
Socks.
Socks.
Well, Socks has finally met his perfect match. And there was a national Socks Appeal contest, and it was a benefit for the Humane Society. And Lucy, who is a cat from Connecticut, not only won, we have pictures of both Socks and Lucy up here, I think.
Over there, that's Lucy, right?
That's Lucy.
Very attractive.
But Lucy not only won because she's a Socks lookalike, but she won for her feline values. And Lucy just insists that there's never a dirty litter box around.
Right, all right.
But Lucy's owners brought her to Washington, and she went on a leash to the White House to meet Socks, who was also on a leash. And they checked each other out. And, you know, supposedly Lucy got a lot of attention because she got out of the limo and everybody said, you know, thought that Socks had escaped. It was like the movie Dave. But they gave Lucy all these special gifts as well, including a miniature cat bed with a chandelier that actually worked. And
who paid for that?
Well, these were all donated gifts, okay? Right. And Bone Drawer, which is a wonderful pet boutique in Washington, made Lucy, the winner, special Socks and Lucy dog bowls. And they've made one for you, which is Spike.
And it says Joan.
It's Spike and Socks, and actually my two dogs, Champagne and Cappuccino, but they're all sitting here dishing gossip.
Oh, isn't that great? Thank you very much.
Isn't that terrific? It's, I don't know if it'll show up, it's little hand-painted.
There's Socks, and there are your two dogs, Karen.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you
Isn't
very
that great?
much.
So that's the same kind of bowl they gave the winner, and they're very popular.
Thank you.
In fact, this woman that makes them is from Arkansas, so she's a real Clinton fan, and she's getting ready for when Clinton gets his dog for Chelsea to do the same thing.
That's very. Now tell me about other celebrities in Washington.
Well, Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington have been in town all summer filming John Grisham's Pelican Brief.
Right.
And attracting a lot of attention, but Mayor Kelly, our D.C. mayor, is very upset because she had really rolled out the carpet for them. I mean, they're closing streets everywhere and, you know, repainting law offices and taking over restaurants and everything. And then they get there and they won't sign autographs. And they're not real hospitable, so everybody's kind of upset about that. And Lyle Lovett has been hanging out with Julia, and you see them just embracing sort of in every little corner. I saw him in the airport one day and restaurants.
He looks
yeah.
like Woody Woodpecker with hair. It's just... and last but not least, Barbara Streisand. Any news there? Because she's always in Washington.
She was in Washington this summer, but not with Bill Clinton this time. She was there with Andre Agassi at Newsweek's Tennis Classic. So we don't know if she kind of found some time quietly to visit the White House or not, but I do know that she's going to be coming back in January, and she's launching a big 100-city tour, multi-million-dollar tour, and she wants the first date to be Washington because the last live performance that she played was the inaugural concert at the Capitol Center.
So start from there. That's very nice.
That's right. So
Okay.
she'll be back.
Makes sense. I thank you as usual.
Thanks, Joan.
Good thing, and please thank them. And Spike, thanks
I
you
hope
very
Spike
much.
loves you. You have to give him special food out of that one.
You're damn right, sure. You can Uber and nothing. And when we come back, we're going to have, wait till you see this, exclusive photos of Madonna's new home. First people ever to have them.